Hey there, I'm Sarah Clark, founder of Fab Fertile, and today I wanted to give you some motivation to really keep going and talk about a case study of a success we've had with one of our clients. And we specialize in low AMH, high FSH, diminished ovarian reserve, or premature ovarian insufficiency. Really, those are complex cases. And many times in those cases, we may have been told donor eggs are the only option. That was certainly the case for me when I was diagnosed with POI at 28. I was told my only option was donor eggs. And then, years later, I discovered I had these food sensitivities, gut infections, and chronic stress was at the root cause of my infertility. And that's why I really, dedicated my time and business to helping couples with the same diagnoses as me. So they don't need to struggle like I did. We may be told that donor eggs are our only option. We may be told that we had better freaking run to the fertility clinic because, our eggs are diminishing as we speak. And it is this whole culture that really, for a couple dealing with that, that's on the fertility journey, there's a lot of, obviously this is a very emotional thing to be dealing with, as everyone else in your life, seemingly will moves on. You feel stuck and everything revolves around the fertility journey. And we forget to even, we've stopped even having fun with, with intimacy, with relationships, with, infertility impacts all aspects of our life. So I wanted to give you some hope today, talking about a client that we had, and then see if there's anything in here that I'm talking about that you're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm experiencing that. I have that, because it's looking at other health issues that and the conventional approach may have been missed. And we see that they're missed routinely. So we're going to start out. So she's 35. Before she came to us, and this is very common. Typically, people that come to us, they've either been trying to get pregnant naturally for 2 years, or they've had at least one failed IVF or IUI. So in this case, she's had 3 failed IVFs, 2 failed IUIs, and she was a poor responder. So she has diminished ovarian reserve. Her AMH was at 0.09. And a lot of times we get, myopically focused on the AMH. And that's where, you may be told you had better hurry, that it's diminishing as you speak, or your only option is donor eggs and no one has looked at the other health issues going on in your body. And so again, we're looking at healing opportunities. She was ovulating every month. She had been on hormonal birth control, so the pill, for 15 years. We see this a lot. You've seen the other case studies that I've done, that we have a theme of being on the pill. And sometimes people take the pill and they're like, you know what, I don't even feel great on the pill. Like people might just think all of a sudden they take the pill. They don't realize that that's when anxiety or depression kicked in. Or also, the pill will completely, decrease your libido. Also heard studies talking about the pill when you're on it and you meet your mate, because when you're meeting your mate, there's certain pheromones, and we're attracted by scent because we are animals, and the pill kind of mixes up those senses for you, and you may end up picking the wrong mate because you're on the pill, which is kind of an interesting thing to think about. And then you come off the pill and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this person doesn't even feel right to me because the scent is off. We're attracted to people's scent. Anyways, and so she was on the pill for 15 years. She had a very stressful job. A lot of times people for thyroid, we talked about this before, her TSH was normal, but her reverse T3 was high. So we're looking at the full panel, not to diagnose, but to educate really, what has been missed in the full panel. And we take a very team approach, a collaborative approach, where we will look at case reviews as a team. We have a physician who is on the team as well, and she has a background in functional medicine, as well as she's an OBGYN. And really, she's a doctor, but not your doctor, and she's in on the case reviews and just really kind of give us that full overall picture. We have access to lab tests. And then we have functional nutritionists on our team. So we really take that collaborative approach to see, what has been missed from a conventional standpoint, and how do we help this person get pregnant naturally. And so we see this a lot too, digestive issues. She had constipation and loose stools. She was alternating between the two of them. And she was also very active. She was running and doing triathlons and biking a lot. Her partner, it's a couples coaching program, so we always look at the partner as well. It's not just, it used to be 60-40 female and male fertility, and now it's gone to 50-50. And I've got a number of podcast episodes on Get Pregnant Naturally, all talking all about male fertility and what we're looking at. But essentially, in this case, we are looking at blood chemistry as well as a semen analysis. If we see anything that's off on there, we're looking at the semen analysis through functional reference ranges. If we see anything off, we'd recommend additional testing for him, even if at the beginning his sperm is fine. If we see anything that that could be done to optimize his health, then we're going to recommend that. So his semen analysis was normal. He did have digestive issues and loose stools, and he's had anxiety for years. So we start both the partners off with our so in this case, we had the testing. So we did functional testing. We're doing food, stool, hormone, and hair testing. Also blood chemistry reviewed, not to diagnose, but to educate, and looking at health histories to then tell a whole story. We start both the partners off doing the elimination diet to really take out those inflammatory foods. It really is to reduce inflammation, and then being able to then personalize the diet for you based on testing and really how you feel with the elimination diet. And just to put this out here, full stop. If you have a food and you don't feel great with it, take it out for a period of 60 to 90 days. A lot of times they're like, oh, I know when I have dairy, it makes me feel, X, Y, or Z, and, or Z, as I like to say. And so why do we keep eating it? So take it out for a period of time and see how you feel. That's a sign from your body. A lot of times they're like, oh, it's fine, I just get gassy or bloated. I'm like, no, stop eating it. So in this case, she had non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Again, the theme we see, she was intolerant to food dyes. She was also intolerant to dairy. And then a lot of times we go gluten-free, and then there's a lot of gluten-free foods. And in this case, she was intolerant to tapioca, which is a common gluten-free food. Also, the cross reactors with gluten, we see that a lot where someone's gone gluten-free, and then they're having a lot of oats or a lot of corn or a lot of, still a lot of dairy. So hers was the cross reactors of dairy and corn. And then so both her and her partner did these changes. Her hormones, we found that she had issues with her cortisol, the stress hormone, and she also had a short luteal phase. We did the stool test, looking at the DNA of the stool. She had like multiple parasites. She had very low stomach acid, and she had C. difficile as well, and H. pylori, which lowers your stomach acid. So you can eat that nice, nutrient dense, healthy diet, but maybe you're not able to absorb the nutrients. I had that as well. So yeah, it's a common theme that we see. So you're eating all this healthy food, then your body can't absorb it. And we all have, some H. pylori, so it's not to completely eradicate it, but if it starts to overgrow, then that becomes an issue. And mental emotional stress, again, she was told that, she actually said to me before she started, I would make a great case study if this works. And sure enough, she has. But she was like a worrier. She was like a type A, busy professional. She had to set some, boundaries around work. She had to reduce some of the physical activity because for a stress relief, it was, vigorous exercise, which was then to see how you feel the next day. And it's always to your tolerance. And sometimes we've forgotten what our tolerance is. And then also her partner was sensitive to gluten and corn, and he noticed improvements with his digestive system and his mood. He had anxiety for years. He noticed improvements with his anxiety, actually over a very, short period of time. And he'd experienced that, as they say, his whole life. So within 4 months into the program, she became pregnant naturally. And really, this is, she really did the work. We used the testing, developed that targeted diet and lifestyle program for her and her partner. And she committed, did the work, really addressed all the issues. For her, digging to the mindset piece was harder, but she was open-minded to see, where can she slow down? Where can she start to visualize this working? Many times with this diagnosis, we even had a hard time seeing ourselves pregnant, seeing ourselves with a baby or a toddler. Maybe we can go to the toddler piece. We can't see ourselves pregnant. So it is, adding in that spiritual component too, being able to look for the signs and really, know this is going to happen. So hopefully you saw something from yourself in there that maybe resonated with you. You're like, wait a minute, I'm experiencing some of those symptoms. Are they correlated? And it is to look at the whole body. So if that feels right for you, you can book a call with me below for you and your partner. We can discuss how the Fab Fertile method can help you. So thanks again for listening.